Hello and how are you? Welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, you know what? Today is Tuesday, January 28th, uh, 2020. Got a happy birthday shout out going out to Rachel Penrod. That'd be, my nephew's girlfriend. And then David B Whitehead and, Talya, Cunanan and Jamie Case, also known as Cold Case, Jamie Cold Case. Anyway, happy birthday to the four of you, and we're going to kick it off with a birthday song. I had to write it myself, Craig, you know that, I told you, but here we go anyway. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today, so happy birthday, I'ma say. You know, Rachel and David and Taylor and Jamie, yeah, you got over a brand new year today, so happy birthday to you, I say. I said, hey, I heard it's your birthday today, so happy birthday, I'ma say. You know, you're 1 year older today, so happy birthday to you, I say, and many more. Cha 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 cha. Hoo-yah. Hey, got some folks wanting their names to be shouted out. I know they do because they made sure they went and liked all my things and they hadn't liked for a while. Cindy Brown, Sam Campbell, Martin Kelly, uh, Pete McClaney, and David Tracy Moyet. Moyat. Moyat. We'll go with that. You know, these are the ones these are folks that watch and they're on there. You know, my mom and my dad, John and Mary, and my daughter Ashley and Oliver. Hi, Oliver. That's my grandson. He watches all the time too. Sometimes he sings, sometimes he don't. He's talking so well today or now these days. So saw him at the store the other. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like. Well, he's got a birthday coming up, and well, these things happen. He's got a sister coming up too. Anyway, how about some weather? Weather? How about weather? He's also got a cousin coming up too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, I didn't forget about it. I just thought I'd mention it too. All right. How about weather? Weather for the forecast for the remainder of the day is cloudy skies this evening. A few snow showers developing late. Lows around 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be light and variable, and chances of snow 30%. Winds coming out of the north to northeast at 4 miles per hour. Then Wednesday, January 29th, overcast skies, a few flurries or snow showers possible. Highs around 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be light and variable, coming out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Considerable cloudiness overnight, lows around 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be light and variable, north to northwest at 4 miles per hour. Thursday, January 30th, cloudy skies, highs around 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds light and variable, west to northwest at 2 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy throughout the night. Lows around 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds light and variable, east to southeast at 2 miles per hour. See, that's what I don't get some days. It comes in west to northwest, and then it turns right around and goes the exact opposite, east to southeast, uh, at the same rate of speed than at that same day, that throughout the night. Anyway, January 31st, considerable cloudiness, highs around 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then mostly cloudy skies overnight, lows around 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be west to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then, how about, hey, what happened? Partly cloudy skies. I broke my computer. Wake up, mouse click. Partly cloudy skies, highs around 47 degrees Fahrenheit, winds west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then mouse click, mouse click, click yes. Start dwell clicker 2. Go to sleep. Okay, I lost my mouse clicking device, and so therefore I couldn't keep up with my weather. Sorry about that. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, lows around 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and winds are going to be west to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then mainly sunny on Sunday, February 2nd. Highs around 60 degrees. Boy, we got a heat wave coming this next Sunday. Heat wave, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be west to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then it's going to kind of stay up there around 41 degrees overnight with winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So Sunday is looking like the big day. We might get outside and sun ourselves again like we did last summer. Oh, let's twist again, like we did last year. Do you remember when? Oh, anyway. Anyway, that's your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. You know, there's nothing going on, nothing going on. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble. Oh, when you're perfect in every way. Oh, Lord, I hate to see it. Each and every day. Well, that's hard to get out of the picture. Complete and privacy checkup to make sure your settings are still right for you. Okay, let's do that. Privacy checkup for Google. Google says personalize your privacy checkup. Review key settings and the data Google uses to personalize your experience. Active control review. Make ads more relative to me. Control what others see about me. Choose who can see my location. Manage what you share on YouTube. And these are the things that will help you continue to your Google account. Okay, there we go. That's that. We have an activity, activity. Location is paused, so that way nobody can see me. See me. Nobody knows where I am, and I am, and I am, and I am. Everybody knows where I am. I'm right here in St. Charles. That's right. All right, well, whatever. I guess it's okay. Okay, anyway, let's see, what else should we talk about, though? Talk about the weather. We already done that. See what's going on in St. Charles. St. Charles events. Oh, what do we got going on in St. Charles? Any of y'all make it down to the ice sculpture thing with the melted ice? They got a train show going on at the St. Charles Convention Center. That's right. Of course, it's a cost to get in there. $11 for adults and $10 for adults on Sundays. Kids 11 and under are free. But, yeah, train show. That's always fun. It's always a fun thing to do. Is go to the train show and look at the trains. I like trains. Why does your son talk in a falsetto voice? And then if you are a little old for trains and you want to go to the Golf Expo, it'll be coming in on Friday. It'll be coming in on Friday the 7th and through Sunday the 9th. Also at the Convention Center, St. Charles Convention Center, that is. So you can catch the Golf Expo, where you can pick up golf equipment and stuff, you know. So if you're a little old for trains and you want to try out your hand at golf, just get on over to the Golf Expo. And then the St. Louis Golf Expo. Oh, yeah, and Ambush versus the Heat is going to be at the Family Arena. That's soccer, you know, indoor soccer. And then the Golf Expo, boy, they really advertising that one up pretty good. My brother is chomping at the bit for me to get done here so that I can get over there and play some pool with him over there on Facebook. 8-ball, while we usually play 9-ball. I used to be rather good prior to the chair, and well, now that I'm in the chair, I'm pretty good electronically, but I don't hit the tables very much anymore. So now the Winter Jam, Winter Jam, 2020 is Christian music. That's going to be February the 9th, 2020, special event. And $15, only $15 at the door. Winter Jam 2020, Christian music. So you might want to go over and do that. That'll be February 9th. Doors will open at 5 p.m. Showtime is at 6 p.m. Jam Nation doors 3:30 p.m. Those are if you're Jam members. If you follow around the Jam Nation, the Jam from place to place, then you are the Jam Nation. So you can get in a bit early and pick you out some seats way down. $15 donation at the door. And then door parking is $10. So for $25 you can go to the Jam Winter Jam 2020. Special guests, Grammy nominated folks are going to be there. Singers and songwriter Crowder will be there. Red Letters and All My Hope, the Jarn Spin artist, and so there's going to be quite a few people there. So you might want to get over there and catch the gospel music going on. Gospel music. And then the Cardine International Circus is going to be hitting the arena also again. At the Equestrian Center, National Equestrian Center. I don't even know where that is. I know where there used to be one. Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Yep, on the back side. Yeah. 6880 Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Lake St. Louis, Missouri. 6:30 p.m. The Cardenia International Circus going to be going down there. $10. That's $9.99 to $40 to go catch the circus. That'll be fun and exciting. Wouldn't you say? And then what else going on? The Easley brothers are going to be showing up here in town. Lindenwood, Jay Sheedberger Center for the Arts is going to be welcoming the Isley brothers. They're going to be coming in town. $59.50 per ticket, up to $99.50 per ticket. So if you're big fans of the Isley brothers, come on down and watch the Isley brothers. Not for me. Not that big of a fan, Working Women's Survival Show, going to be in February on the 21st through the 20th. That one's coming up. That'll be, well, it doesn't say it costs a thing. I'll be doggone, it looks like it's free. Yep, free for you and free for me. The Working Women's Survival Show, February 21st, 2020, February 23rd, 2020. That's reoccurring daily, that is. Friday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located where, you ask? At the St. Charles Convention Center. 1 Convention Center Plaza, St. Charles, Missouri, 63301. And that's it. Doesn't even say there's a charge. So come on in, take a look around, see if you can't get to work. And if you are working, to see if you can't figure out how to make it easier on you. Don't you know? So, anywho, that's probably about enough information on stuff that's going on. I think it is, by the way. I mean, by and by. By and by, I think that it is. Seems how they're not going to give me any more information on anything else. I guess that's it for you and me. That's all we get to see. Man, I wanna sing, and I know Craig doesn't like it, but I wanna sing. I sent out a while ago. I put on Facebook Roy Clark and Glenn Campbell playing guitar, doing Ghost Riders in the Sky, and when I did, it's like, Roy Clark is one heck of an instrument player. He can play banjo and fiddle and guitar and almost anything he picks up. He can play it, and he can play it quite well. But I didn't know Glenn Campbell could play that well. Well, I knew that because this was a research from 5 years ago. I sent it around, and I thought, well, hey, let's send her around again. It looked pretty good, so I ran it around again. But yeah, that'd be Glenn Campbell and Roy Clark. So I didn't know he was such a player. Anyway, we'll do that though. Song lyrics: Ghost Riders in the Sky. Ba-dum ba-da-ba-ding ba-da-ba-dum ba-dum ba-da. Ba-dum ba-da-ba-dee-dee-da-ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-dum ba-da-dum ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-dee-dee-dee. Ba-dee-da-dum-ba. An old cowboy went out riding out on one dark and windy day. Up on a ridge he rested as he went along his way. Oh, and all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw, a-plowing through the ragged skies and up the cloudy draw. Their brands were still on fire and their clothes were made of steel. Their horns were black and shiny, and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky. For he saw the riders coming hard, and he heard their mournful cry. Yip-yi-oh, yip-yi, Ghost Riders in the sky. Their faces gaunt, their eyes were blurred, their shirts all soaked with sweat. He's riding hard to catch that herd, but he ain't got 'em yet, 'cause they've got to ride. Whoops, sorry. Don't you just hate it? You hate it when you don't know the whole words to the song, and then all of a sudden you get lost. Their faces gaunt, their eyes were blurred, their shirts all soaked with sweat. He's riding hard to catch that herd, but he ain't caught 'em yet, 'cause they've got to ride forever on that range up in the sky, on horses snorting fire, as they ride on, hear their cry. Yip-yi-oh, yip-yi-ay, Ghost Riders in the sky. As the riders loped on by him, he heard one call his name. If you want to save your soul from hell, arise, lean on this range. Then cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride. Trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. Yip-yi-oh, yip-yi-ay, Ghost Riders in the sky. Ghost Riders in the sky. Ghost Riders in the sky. I would have whistled one of those verses, but I did not have a drink. My throat was moistened, my throat was dry, and I couldn't give it time to think. Looky there, I'm going to get me a drink. Justin Bieber is on. Justin Bieber is on Ellen, and he's shooting a hockey puck. Now, he can't even put it through Ellen's little thing here. How's he supposed to score on our whatchamacallit, on our goalie here in St. Louis? Because he keeps claiming he's going to shoot the goalie, shoot against our goalie. Anyway, And that there was a wet of the whistle, and the reason I call it wet in the whistle is because I can whistle once I've wet it. How about this song, because I've got the wet whistle? Song lyrics, City of New Orleans. All right, riding on the City of New Orleans. Illinois Central Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders. 3 conductors and 25 sacks of mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out of Tuscany and rolls along past the houses, farms, and fields. Passing trains that have no names and freight yards full of old black men and graveyards of the rusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are ya? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the one they call the City of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles before the day is done. Dealing cards with the old men in the club car. Penny a point and no one's keeping the score. Won't you pass that paper bag that holds the bottle? Feeling the wheels rumbling beneath the floor. And the sons of the Pullmans and the porters. And their sons of the engineers. Riding their father's magic carpets made of steam. Mothers with their babies asleep. And rocking to the gentle beat. And the rhythm of the rails is all their dreams. Good morning, America, how are ya? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the one they call the City of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles before the day is done. Well, nighttime on the City of New Orleans. Changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi darkness, rolling down to the sea. And all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream. And the streets, the steel rails still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings his song again. The passengers will please refrain. The train's got disappeared railroad blues. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the one they call the City of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles before the day is done. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the one they call the City of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles before the day is done. I've been telling stories lately about my childhood. Some things my parents didn't know. Of course, you know that's the way you're supposed to tell them. Once you've gotten up and you're growing old. 'Cause if you don't, you tell them not no secrets. Because when you're a kid, you can get in trouble then. But as you've grown, you got away with everything. Because you're too adult to be punished again. All the things we used to slip by under Mommy and Daddy's nose. No one never knows but me. I'm not going to tell you what we done way down in the woods. We built clubhouses out of trees. Oh, good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know what kind of trouble you can get away with? You can find out things that nobody ever knew. If you look back into your past and remember a thing or two. Oh, good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know there's things that you get away with true? If you look back into your past and you can remember the things that you used to do. Well, I remember one time when I was a young man. I was playing around in a barn with my friends. Well, I bust my head open on a beam. I was jumping from one stall to another. Cracked my head wide open like a pumpkin. Well, I went home and my mommy was she crying, 'cause my friends they got there a little early, fast to tell. They said, "Hey, he's bleeding. Come on out and quickly heal him." Well, I went on up to the house and they were screaming. Well, I was bleeding bad, but it wasn't so sad. It was a head wound, so it looked like I was bleeding bad. In the shower I went until they saw it. They saw it streaming out blood of crimson red. So then they took me to the hospital, where I got some major stitching going on in my head. That's right, lots of stitches. Boy, 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 I remember those days. Rick and Alan and me was down at the Bull Sisters barn, you see. Not supposed to be there, not at all. And, well, we decided we was going to be playing down there in the barn. This barn was built in 1804, I think. 1806. Anyway, there used to be a thing on it that said when it was built. But anyway, we were in the stall, or I was in the stalls. We were playing hide and go seek. So I was in the stall back there, and there was a bar going across. Not a bar. There was a one of the poles going acrossways. Now these were wooden, not fence poles, and they weren't round and they weren't flat. They were wooden things, pieces of tree that they had cut to make look like um, to make a board out of. It wasn't a board though. It was kind of a beam, basically, piece of wood sticking across there. But it was a log, but it had been, shaved like into a triangle or something. Well, not a rectangle, not like a regular flat board. But anyway, there was one going across a long ways, and then there was one going down at an angle. Well, there was a gap, and I was trying to move from one straw to the stall to the other, and well, I ran, and I jumped the gap. Well, instead of jumping, what happened was I jumped too high or I didn't duck low enough. Either how, I went in and I busted my head open. Now, if you look careful, when I lean my head forward, see the part going across sideways on my head there in the middle? Yeah, that one. That is where my stitches went. I had busted my head open like a pumpkin, and well, an overripe pumpkin that is, and it flopped the skin back on top of my head, kind of like it scalped me. Well, the first thing you do whenever you hit your head is you put your hand on top of your head. Well, it always feels like there's a dent, regardless whether there is one or not. Well, it felt like a dent, so I pulled my hand forward. Well, when I pulled my hand forward, it closed the dent up, which was strange to me. But the other thing was my hand was full of blood, and that was not something I was ready prepared to see. So anyway, we started heading back towards the house, and when we got there, when we got there, Rick and Alan had already ran up to the house before me, and they had told my mom and dad that I had gotten hurt. My mom met me out in the backyard, and there I was, just a bleeding like crazy. Now, of course, I wasn't supposed to be in the barn, so we told them we was down in the woods swinging on the vines. And, well, I'd hit my head on a tree down in the woods. Well, that's what I tried to get away with. It only worked for about 3 days until a kid down the street got word of it somehow. Story leaked out, and that's the way it is, Anyway, story leaked out, and he was on the phone with me, and I was like getting mad at him because he was sitting there telling me yes and no, and I was like, no, it's not the way it happened. It happened like this, and blah, blah, blah. I got busted. Anyway, 32 stitches inside and 46 outside. So, people ask me if I'm nuts. Well, there you go. That's why. But my mom immediately, first thing she thought, because I had went out hunting earlier in the day, She thought I shot myself in the head. I don't know why, but that's what she thought. Anyway, that was one of those situations where you go to the hospital. Generally speaking, when I was a kid, you don't go to the hospital. You don't do anything like that. But that was one of the situations where you go. And the time I got the horn through in my leg. Yeah, a horn stuck in my leg. All right, I play trombone. Well, I was played trombone when I was in high school. Well, not even high school, sixth grade. I played trombone. And well, that was pretty cool, but that's not the kind of horn that got stuck in my leg. You know what a recorder is? Do anybody remember what a recorder is? Well, it's a flute-looking thing. Well, anyway, my brother was over on his bed and I was over on my bed, and they were separated bunk beds is what they was. We used to have bunk beds, but then after we grew up, we separated them. That's what we did back in those days because, well, you didn't want to, we didn't have a big enough house to each of us have a room, so we shared a room, and well, that's what happened. We had the beds separated, and well, he was throwing his basketball up and down, and I kept saying, and it was his basketball. I was throwing his basketball up and down and up and down. Well, he wanted his basketball, and he said, "Give me my ball." So I threw his ball over at him. Well, he was playing his recorder, and he said, "That just about hit me in the eye." And he threw his recorder at me, and it ricocheted off my shin bone. Well, that's all fine and dandy. It wasn't really that bad until I looked down and saw this hunk of bone sticking out of my leg. Well, it actually was not a hunk of bone. I just thought that it was. What actually it was bone-colored uh, um, recorder, plastic, and it had broken off, and so it was a piece of that recorder stuck in my leg, triangle-shaped recorder. So anyway, I did go to the doctor for that one too. That was an extraction. I only got 3 stitches in my leg for that one. So anyway, that was Dr. Yeager sewed me up. That was when he was in St. Charles Plaza there, down from Ben Franklin. Yeah. Anyway, that was my experience getting all busted up when I was a kid. Yep. All right. Anyway, hey, you know what? Looks like it's about time for our portion of the program called Our Daily Bread. And so today, by the way, if you're following with the Bible with Briscoe, which I hope you are, we covered Exodus 19 through 20 and Matthew 18:21 through 35. Now, I don't know why it says 21 through 35 because tomorrow, that's all there is in Matthew. Matthew 18, I think that's all there is in it. Matthew 18. So let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 35. 1 through 35. And so why did they put Matthew 18:21 through 35? Oh, 21 through 35, because yesterday I had done I thought I had done Matthew 16 yesterday, though. Nope, done Matthew 18:1 through 20 yesterday. Okay, well, there you have it. That's why they done it. Anyway, today is going to be Matthew 21 through 35 to finish it up. All right, then. Anyway, today for the devotion, an old clay pot. That's what the devotion of the day is. And we have these treasures in jars of clay to show this all-surprising power is from God and not from us. Oh, see, that's what I read yesterday in Corinthians. I didn't read it in Corinthians. I read it in Matthew. Was talking, or not Matthew, but Exodus, and they were talking about when they left, and that the manna should be preserved in some clay jars so that they could clay pots, so that they could have some to show the children of the future after they crossed over into the promised land, the land of Jordan. Anyway, today we're going to be covering 2 Corinthians 4, 7 through 12 is the scripture for the day. Anyway, here we go. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surprising power is from God and not from us. We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. We always carry around in our body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in our body. For we who are alive are always being given over to death for Jesus' sake, so that his life may also be revealed in our mortal body. So then death is at work in us, but life is at work in you. And there you have it, 2 Corinthians 4, 7 through 12. Most interesting section of the Bible, I believe. And I suggest that anytime you read anytime I read a section of the Bible for you, my best thing for you to do is I would say just go ahead and read the whole thing. 2 Corinthians 4. I would just read the whole section 4. Because, you can take things out of context and they don't make any sense at all. But if you read the whole thing, it makes all kinds of sense. That's like Job. Oh, the book of Job. That is the book to go to. If at all you ever want a book to read, the book of Job is the one. That one will get you through so much strife and so much trouble and everything else. Anyway, you know what? That looks like it's about our time. So I'm going to sing one more song for you, and that would be, well, goodbye, my friends, it's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends, goodbye. This here's been Shen Show saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning into the Shen Show, and as always, God loves you and so do I. So come back and see us tomorrow because, well, I'll be here and I hope that you are too.